This team of the year has been an absolute shit show, and it's been completely fabricated by EA. They could have completely avoided all of the outrage that the community currently feels. They could have avoided everything. I feel like, right, there's always been this understanding with EA, and this, like, there's always an understanding with EA that everybody knows that they're a company and they need to make their money. And I don't think anyone doesn't want them to make money. At the end of the day, this is a game that we all like to play and we want them to continue making the game. And so we are happy for them to make a profit, pay their employees, and keep putting out games every year. However, I don't really know how I'm supposed to take this year's Team of the Year as anything other than a fuck you to any free-to-play player. For example, if you were to ask me, if I were a director at EA or someone who ran the content and the Team of the Year campaign, I'm not really sure how I would run the campaign in more of a way to tell people that play this game for free to piss off. EA have always done this thing where they release attackers, midfielders, and defenders separately. And the reason they like to do that is because it creates 3 separate points of hype where they can sell their packs. You get the likes of Danny Aarons, but a lot of regular people also end up buying a lot of promo packs. Believe me, guys, it's not just content creators that buy those packs. Regular people do also participate in those lightning rounds for the attacker, midfielder, and defenders releases. They then do this weird thing where they separate the icon team into 2 teams and then take it out of packs for a day or 2. Used to be 2 days, now it's only 1, to again create this weird feeling of hype so that people start opening packs. The only reason, and I'm telling you this, the only reason they moved it back a day this year versus what it has been where they usually came out on Sunday is because they probably looked at the stats and said, doesn't really move the needle. People don't really care when these come back in packs. It's sort of just the same thing. People just wait until Sunday. We may as well release it now. But then you get into this weird situation where they release these SBCs that have requirements that you literally can't complete during Team of the Year. I made a TikTok about this as soon as the 90 rated squad for Marcelo came out, and I said, these 90 rated squads are impossible to complete because not only are they Team of the Years, and for the most part they're the high rated cards in the game, but you guys also release Team of the Year honorable mentions, which again are the other high rated cards, and so it completely removes all the high rated supply. And what happened? The exact same thing happened. Mohamed Salah is currently 100k. Alexia Putellas is currently 100k. Aitana Bonmati is currently 100k. Jude Bellingham is so rare compared to Rodri. I've got 5 Rodri sitting in my SBC storage and no Judes. Jude is 15k more than Rodri, and the next cheapest 90 is Van Dijk, who's the same price as Bellingham, even though Van Dijk is currently in packs. Then the cheapest 92, which I'm sure used to be like 88k, are Angara and Prince, because they're the only way that you can complete a 90 rated squad. Moving on to shit like the SBC Ronaldo and SBC Messi. Guys, am I the only one that can say, like, I would have been fine if they just didn't release Ronaldo and Messi? I literally wouldn't have cared at all. But the fact that they released this SBC, right, and put the amount of 89s and the amount of total squads that they did into that SBC. Guys, you guys that think that that's a fair price for an SBC, please click off my video. And please, if you ever see my face again, don't interact. I never, ever, ever want to be around a human being like you again. It's a ridiculous price. It's a ridiculous number of squads. And if I'm being completely honest, if they just hadn't released anything at all, everyone would have been much more fine about it. Why even release that SBC? Who is doing that shit, bro? Genuinely, who is doing that shit? I have an Evo of both Ronaldo and Messi. Listen, I'm not even going to go out and say that they're better than the SBC because I feel like it's a bit of a, debatable, blah, blah, blah. They're more than comparable to both of those SBCs. Why would I do that shit? You might say, oh, well, it's not for you. Who is it for? Who is every SBC for? Why is TOTY 2.5 million coins? His champion icon is on the market for 300k. Where is 2.5 million come from? Where does that come from? CC's 88, who I have from the start of the game, is 100k on the market. Why is her team of the icon 1 million coins? Please don't tell me that for one star skill moves and 1 star weak foot, you want to pay 900 coins. You want to pay 900k more because you are an imbecile. Sorry to call you an imbecile, but you just have to be called what you are. The SBCs make absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Nothing in this game makes sense. How is it possible that store packs have a 6% chance of a team of the year? A 6% chance, almost a 1 in 10. Almost a 1 in 10. Sure, there's 4%. You know what? Let me not stretch it. 6% is 6%. It's 1 in 20. It's better than 1 in 20 packs. And the League SBCs, right, where you submit 11 rares, the absolute best thing that you have to grind for the majority of the year, for the majority of the promo, has a 0.02% chance. 0.02! It's 200 times worse than the store packs. Now, guys, I am not saying that the store packs shouldn't be better than the packs that you get in the store from SBCs and that are grindable. Of course I am. The whole point of being able to pay in games is that you get something a little bit quicker. You maybe give yourself a better chance, and you don't have to put yourself through the same stress or the same time sacrifice as someone who wants to play for free. 0.02% is an absolute spit in the face of anyone who is playing this for free, because you cannot guarantee yourself a team of the year. Some of you are saying that, oh, well, they're not supposed to be for everyone. Guys, I have always been a proponent of team of the year shouldn't exist as a promo. But if it does, you can't just run it for people who are only willing to spend money. It can't just be that people who are willing to spend money can have the entire team, whereas people that play for free are expected to take it on the chin that they're going to be paying $2.5 million for TOTY, $3.5 million for a Messi and Ronaldo. That's pretty bang average, and won't even be able to get one single team of the year. Not even a Donnarumma or an Endler. Are we taking the absolute piss? That's what we're supposed to do. Oh, well, they're supposed to be hard. Well, they're not flipping hard if you spend money. They're not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's not that deep. You can have a full team of the years. So either sack the promo, which they'll never do because it probably generates 60% of the revenue that they make in a single FC cycle, or make it reasonable and stop pissing people off. And the worst thing is, I think tonight they're gonna have to release an unlimited grind because of the duress that they feel from the community right now, and it's completely self-made. If they just released reasonable SBCs, if all 90 raid cards and all 89 raid cards and all 88 raid cards were as equal likely to be packed, and it wasn't a situation where I have 12 Gabriels and no other 88, or I have 5 Rodris and no Bellinghams. If the SBCs were normally priced, if the pack weight made sense, if there was an actual reasonable chance of me getting the team of the year out of these upgrades, which I'm spending genuinely, guys, you could spend an entire 12 hours doing those Premium League upgrades, and there is a more than likely chance you do not see a blue. And I don't just mean you don't see a team of the year. You don't see any blue of any kind. What I don't understand is, I'm actually not even asking for that much of an increase in pack odds in the Premium League upgrades. I'm just asking for something that's fucking reasonable and something that you can actually tangibly look at and be like, okay, cool. You know what? It's obviously a really low chance. It's obviously a really low chance it's a team of the year. But if I sit here for the whole week, I will get one. I can get myself one, and I'll be happy with that one because I'll have put in the time and I'll have got him. And Tony Day and Danny Aarons and everybody else who wants to spend money, they can have the whole team. I don't need the whole team. I just want the one. But it's not like that. And then you think about it, and the people like me, guys, I want you to understand, I'm coming from a perspective of I've been saving packs for team of the year. This is probably my 4th year of saving packs. I have already opened over 2,000 packs. I still have over 1,800 left, probably more with recycles. I'm good, bro. I'm good. But even me, I've been sitting here for hours and hours and hours, and I can't get these cards, bro. I can't get these cards. You also can't get these cards from the small. You need the rating minimum guarantee packs, which you don't get that much of. It's impossible. It's impossible. The SBCs they've released, all that the SBCs have done is just pissed people off. The double 86, you can do it twice a day. It requires an 83 with an inform and an 84 with an inform. Why the hell isn't that just fully repeatable? It's not even a good pack. It doesn't even have good. I checked it yesterday. It's like 0.12. The odds on that pack aren't even good, and it's massively expensive. They could make that SBC completely unlimited from the start. It wouldn't move. It wouldn't move anything. Nothing would be moved. Genuinely, nothing would be moved. And tonight, they're literally going to have to release an unlimited grind. But it's literally for no reason. They don't have to do this. If they just do everything reasonably, and like it's gotten to the point where like I feel like the person who's in charge of like releasing content and who makes decisions on what is and isn't released just doesn't. There's no way that this person can actually play the game. It's either they don't play the game or they spend so much money and have the opinion that the only way that you can and should be able to play this game is by spending copious amounts of money. And they do not give a single fuck about people that play this game for free. Those are the only two possibilities, because there's no other way that the content that we've gotten over the last 2 weeks is the content that we've gotten if that isn't the case. It literally can't be the case. Yeah, so I think they've basically penned themselves in. I think we're going to get this unlimited grind tonight, and I think it's going to suck, because last year they released those stupid 8220s, and guys, like, I packed probably like 12 team of the years last year because I did 1,000 of them. I genuinely would struggle to think that anybody could have completed that SBC more than I did. I did 1,067, if I'm not mistaken. I did 1,067 8220s, which for the astute of you in the listening audience means that I completed 2,000 SBCs from Tuesday until Friday. because the 8220 had 2 segments. I completed 2,000 SBCs. And I don't want that shit to return. All I want is the packs that are already in the game to have a decent chance at a team of the year. I'm not asking for store pack levels. I just want it to be something that doesn't feel like a kick in the nuts. And that's where it is, boys. I genuinely think that they have to release it today. I think they've pegged themselves into a corner for absolutely no reason. I really don't understand why they've done it, but they have done it. We're going to be here at 6 p.m. I've got already about 50 or 60 team of the weeks ready to go if they do release it. And yeah, man, this team of the year has been really, really shit. I think they've really shot themselves in the foot. I think a ton of people are just never going to touch this game again because I think it's really, really disheartening and disappointing what team of the year has been. And I don't think this little R9 that they're trying to give away in swaps is going to help in the slightest. Genuinely, I just don't think people care. I think people feel ripped off and mugged off. And I reckon they'll probably do something weird about the Ronaldo where it's not even going to be that easy to do and you'll probably feel a bit mugged off with him as well. So there we go, boys. That's my thoughts on it. I just wish EA would do better and just not be such assholes. And like I said, man, I'm happy with them making their money and I'm happy for them to do all of the weird shit that they do, staggering the releases, all of that stuff. But the approach to everything else is just atrocious, man. It's just such scumbag behavior that I just can't even fathom it, man. And yeah, boys, see you later on at 6 where we probably get this unlimited grind because they literally have no other option. Best of luck in your packs in a bit.